this is the design that we'll be working on in our 5th tutorial. And I'm going to be working on the outside scallops first using the orange 976, and I'll be doing a fly stitch. Now there are no guidelines for the actual fly stitch on the scallops, so that also means you can add a different stitch on there if you preferred. But I've decided to add the fly stitch because it's quick, it's easy, and it gives a nice texture. And in that scallop shape, I can fit 3 fly stitches. Now you can do more, you can squeeze them up a little bit more, but I find that 3 fly stitches is just about enough before I finish off with a single stitch. Just stab it in along the edge there. And then from there, I'm not actually going to finish that off on the reverse. I'm just going to go straight into the next shape because this will all be covered with wadding in between. Next, I'll be using the 734, that olive green, and again I'll be doing a fly stitch along the leaves. Now the fly stitches here on the leaves are a little bit smaller, or rather tighter together, because the shape is a little bit smaller, but I'm still leaving some gaps in between, as you can see. Now you could squeeze them up and you could do actually a closed fly stitch if you wanted to. I find that this is nice and it's also quick, and it's lovely to see that green color of the leaves sitting underneath those stitches. So I find that this kind of fly stitch is quite sufficient. Now I finished the leaf right there, and then I just moved straight onto the next leaf. Next, we're going to do these little blue circles, and I'll be using the light blue 503, and this is the satin stitch. Now, as you remember, whenever we do little circles, we always divide the shape in half first and then lay the stitches on either side. Now to start off with, I'm only adding 1 stitch on either side to see how that looks, and I feel like it still needs a couple of stitches on both the left and the right. So I'm just adding a small one here and then another small one here, and then this will be sufficient to make it look enough of a circle. Next, it's an easy one because these stems here are going to be done in a back stitch, and we're using the brown 839. Now I'm keeping my back stitches quite small because those lines are actually fairly short. Of course you can make your back stitches a little bit bigger, it's not that big a deal. I just prefer to have mine quite small. So along that line there, I can fit 5 back stitches. Next, I'm going to outline that orange scallop shape in a chain stitch using the orange number 976. Now you do need to keep your chain stitches quite small because those scallop curves are quite small and tight, and I have fitted 5 chain stitches onto each scallop curve. So the last chain stitch gets finished off with a holding stitch, and then I come out inside that last chain stitch and then begin another scalloped edge again, and just continue that all the way around the flower. Then we're going to add some lazy daisies using the red number 22, and this is very simple, and I felt like I really didn't need any more inside those petals because there's already a chain stitch around there, and I'll still be adding more stitches in the center. So I felt that the lazy daisy was just enough, and just pop 1 in on every petal. Okay, next we're going to do a blue outline in a stem stitch using the light blue 503, and you can see where I'm actually laying my stem stitch, and it's on the outside of that blue circle, and that's all you're going to do is just put that stem stitch all the way around that shape. Now lastly, to finish off, we're going to fill that center purple shape with French knots using the purple 3835. And I do apologize, I don't know why my camera moved, that it's sitting right at the top of the edge of the screen, but you get the gist.